In the United States, there is a city that does not belong to any state, but holds the fate of the entire country in its hands. It has no governor, but it has a president. It has no skyscrapers, but it attracts global attention. This is Washington, D.C., the capital and political heart of the United States. The White House, the Capitol, the Supreme Court, and the Federal Reserve operate here, and international organizations such as the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and the Organization of American States also have their headquarters here. So what kind of city is Washington? What unforgettable scenery and stories does it have? Next, let's walk into this symbolic city together. Washington is located in the middle of the east coast of the United States, along the Potomac River, and geographically sandwiched between Maryland and Virginia. It does not belong to any state, but is an independent federal district established by the Constitution. The district covers an area of about 177 square kilometers and has a population of about 700,000, making it the 22nd largest city in the United States, while the entire greater Washington metropolitan area has a population of about 6.436 million, ranking 7th in the United States. The city is named after the first president of the United States, George Washington, and the word Columbia comes from the discoverer of America, Columbus, which is the feminine national symbol of the United States in the early days of the founding of the country. Washington was established as the capital of the United States in the late 18th century. The federal government officially moved in 1800 and became the national political center. In the Anglo-American War of 1814, the British Army raided and burned the White House and the Capitol, which was the most serious attack in the history of the capital. After the war, the city was quickly rebuilt and gradually developed into a core of national power and symbolic significance. Since then, it has witnessed many historical turning points such as the Civil War and the Civil Rights Movement. Washington's economy is highly dependent on the federal government, which is the largest employer and has also driven the development of industries such as law, consulting, media, and nonprofit organizations. In recent years, industries such as technology, education, and tourism have gradually emerged, forming the diversified economic foundation of the city. In terms of education, Georgetown University is the oldest Catholic university in the United States, famous for its diplomacy and public policy. The George Washington University has significant advantages in politics, law, and international affairs. In terms of sports, Washington has an NBA team, the Washington Wizards, whose home court is located in the Capital One Arena in the city center, which is an important symbol of the city's sports culture. This city not only carries the core of national power, but also has rich cultural and natural landscapes. Whether it is solemn and majestic monumental buildings, museums full of artistic atmosphere, or scenic urban green spaces, Washington attracts tourists from all over the world with its unique charm. Next, let us roam the city together to explore its historical features and cultural soul. The White House is the official residence and office of the President of the United States, symbolizing the center of the executive power of the United States. It was built in 1792 and designed in neoclassical style. It is one of the most iconic buildings in the United States. During the Anglo-American War of 1814, the White House was burned down by the British Army and rebuilt on the original site. It includes the East Wing, the West Wing, and the executive residence. It is only open to appointments, and ordinary tourists mostly take photos outside the fence. Lafayette Square on the north side of the White House hosts demonstrations and rallies all year round, and is also a popular place for tourists to check in. The National Mall is the most representative public space in Washington. It runs through the city center, connecting the Capitol and the Lincoln Memorial, with a total length of about 3 kilometers. There are many iconic buildings and museums on both sides of the square, including the Washington Monument, the World War II Memorial, and the Smithsonian Museum Group. It is not only an important place for national celebrations and demonstrations, but also an ideal place for tourists to walk, take pictures, and immerse themselves in history and culture. Large lawns and tree-lined trails form an open and solemn landscape axis, showing the unique planning aesthetics of the capital of the United States. Spring and autumn are particularly pleasant, attracting a large number of citizens and tourists to relax and sightsee. The United States Capitol is located on Capitol Hill at the east end of the National Mall. It is the seat of the United States Congress and a symbol of the country's legislative power. The building was built in 1793 in neoclassical style. Its white dome and majestic main hall have become the symbol of the Washington skyline. It brings together the Senate and the House of Representatives and is the core place for formulating federal laws and debating national policies. It was severely damaged in the war in 1814. It was quickly rebuilt and expanded after the war and gradually formed its current size. Visitors can make an appointment to participate in a guided tour and visit its solemn rotunda and statuary hall. The Library of Congress is the National Library of the United States and the largest library in the world. It is located on the east side of the Capitol. It was built in 1800 and initially served only members of Congress. Later, it was gradually opened to the public. The collection is about 173 million items, covering a variety of materials such as books, manuscripts, maps, photos, and movies, with extremely rich languages and themes. Visitors can visit the ornately decorated Thomas Jefferson Building and experience the accumulation of American history and knowledge. The Lincoln Memorial is located at the west end of the National Mall. It was built to commemorate Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The memorial is modeled after the Greek Doric temple style. The exterior is solemn and majestic. Inside stands a 6-meter-tall statue of Lincoln with a calm and firm expression. The Gettysburg Address and Lincoln's second inaugural address are engraved on the walls on both sides, reflecting his historical contribution to defending the Union and abolishing slavery. Since its completion, it has become an important stage for American historical events. In 1963, Martin Luther King delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech on the steps. The Washington Monument was built to commemorate George Washington, the first president of the United States, and is located in the center of the National Mall. The entire building is about 169 meters high. It is the tallest stone obelisk in the world and the tallest building in Washington, D.C. Construction began in 1848, but was suspended for a time due to lack of funds and war, and was finally completed in 1884. Visitors can take the elevator to the top and overlook the entire National Mall and the Capitol. It is one of the most representative landmarks in Washington. The Jefferson Memorial is located on the tidal basin and was built to commemorate Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. The memorial adopts a classical dome design, inspired by the Pantheon in Rome. It is solemn and elegant and echoes the Washington Monument in the distance. A tall bronze statue of Jefferson stands in the hall, and the surrounding walls are engraved with his immortal words in the Declaration of Independence. Every spring, thousands of cherry blossoms in the lake area bloom, reflected on the water, and set off the memorial, painting a gorgeous spring picture, becoming one of the most charming seasonal landscapes in Washington. The Smithsonian Institution Museums is the world's largest and most content-rich public museum system, headquartered in Washington, D.C. The entire system includes 21 museums, the National Zoo, and multiple research institutions, covering many fields such as history, art, science, aerospace, etc. The National Museum of Natural History, the National Air and Space Museum, the National Museum of American History, and the National Museum of African American History and Culture are the most popular museums. Most of the museums are located around the National Mall, within walking distance, and all are open to the public free of charge. This is not only a treasure trove of knowledge, but also an excellent window to understand the process of American culture and civilization. The National Zoo is affiliated with the Smithsonian Institution and is located in Northwest Washington. It is one of the oldest zoos in the United States and was founded in 1889. The park has long been committed to animal protection and scientific research. It is now home to about 400 species, including rare animals such as elephants, lions, gorillas, and flamingos. In 1972, as a symbol of the panda diplomacy between China and the United States, the National Zoo welcomed the first batch of giant pandas. Today, Baoli and Qingbao are the stars here. They are lively and cute. They often play or nap lazily in the bamboo forest, attracting countless tourists to stop and take pictures. The zoo is open to the public free of charge all year round and is a popular attraction loved by families in Washington. In Washington, History is not just about flipping through books, but also about field visits. From monuments to museums to the leisurely giant pandas, every picture is vivid. In this city, there is always a moment for people to stop and quietly feel the weight of time.